call here Masdevan Farms. But around here, people don't know this farm as Masdevan. They know this farm as Peter's farm. Why? Because of the contribution he did when he was governor of Anambra State to the development of this very farm. In fact, he assisted so much in making this farm what it is today, and we are grateful to him. You can see the pineapple section. I began this pineapple thing about a year ago, last year December to be precise. So, and many of them have matured and given us some fruit. Like when you look at here, you see how this one looks like. This one has given us something, and because he has given us something, we trimmed it to enable it to bring in new suckers. If you look down here very well, you see a sucker coming out. Maybe it's more clear here. Their fruit used to be very, very big. So when these suckers grow a little bit more, we can remove them and plant them here. We water here during the dry season, and so it enables them to perform in season and out of season. If you look here, you can see this one growing. It has not really grown big. I know it is going to be bigger than this at the end of the day. So we have two types here. We have what we call the queen pineapple. We also have another one that we bought from Benin Republic. If we can enter inside, I will show you the one we bought from Benin Republic. Look at this one. They came from Benin Republic. From one sucker, you see up to 5. So this one is now due to be taken and planted elsewhere. So when this one matures, the fruit is very, very sweet. It is even sweeter than the one we have here in Nigeria. If you look around, you see that many of them are bringing out something. You can see this one. You can see also this one. You can see also this one. Another one up there. If you don't mind, we can go close to them. You can see this one. So you can also see this one. They are coming out. You can also see this one. Normally, it takes pineapple 2 years to grow and bear fruit. But due to recent discoveries, we can, under a year, plant and harvest pineapple, because we have come to discover that there's something that you do to them and they will begin to bring out fruits in a very short period of time. Never mind, you see weed here. This is rainy season. Normally, we visit it again and clean it. We have bitter leaf. This bitter leaf is quite different from what we have in the local market. We also got this bitter leaf from Benin Republic, and you can see, even though we have plucked it, we plucked it last week, but it is fast growing back. The leaves can be as big and long as this when they are due to be plucked. We still have a bigger bitter leaf farm. When we go inside, we have about 3 of it inside. Here we have the smoking cane section. Whatever you want to smoke, like you can see, this is fish. When people bring fish from outside, we cut it and smoke it for them. You can see the head. These women here, they are experts. You can see the oven. So right now there is nothing. So if anybody wants to maybe smoke cow, fish, they used to bring it here and we get it prepared.
How much does each of these cost?
This one is 20,000 naira. This thing is very costly now. With what is happening in dollar rates, every day you keep on seeing rise in the price of the feed. And once the price of the feed is rising, then the price of the commodity also rises. I know formerly this thing used to sell like 5,000 naira, but ever since dollar has gone so high, the price of this fish has also risen to 20,000 naira. But if you eat it, you will like it. We have hostel here. The person that began this place, one of the goals that he has is that he wants to empower people to go out and begin to do something. Here he used to attract so many people to train them, and after training them, some of them we employ some of them, and some of them we send them to our counterparts that are looking for workers. Some of them we also empower, begin something. Like when the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, was in office, even after his office, he used to send a whole lot of people here to come and learn about agriculture. And after learning, he used to give them money to begin to do something for themselves. And that reminds me, we call here Masdevan Farms, but around here, people don't know this farm as Masdevan. They know this farm as Peter's farm. Why? Because of the contribution he did when he was governor of Anambra State to the development of this very farm. In fact, he assisted so much in making this farm what it is today, and we are grateful to him. So you can see our classroom. Presently, I have some students, but they are on break. If you look at the board, you will see it's about piggery, the structure of the pig. The last session I did something on piggery for them. So here is our classroom. Here is a hostel for the students and also the workers. If somebody wants to learn anything in Agro, the person can come, and then we have room for the person. Here we have this short species of pawpaw. That is what we normally plant in the farm. So like this one, we are going to cut this one and plant another one because it has overgrown. So if anybody wants to plant this pawpaw, we still have some seedling. So once the person books it, we make it available to the person. The pawpaw is very sweet. You can see plantain suckers. Many people come book plantain suckers. Like this, somebody booked 70. Another person is also booking like 1,000 of them. We just supplied around 800 to somebody in Mbako. She wants to specialize in plantain. So we have the suckers in abundance because we have 2 plantations for plantain and banana. One is here. You shall see one there. Here we planted sweet corn. Many people may not know about sweet corn, but I believe that when you tell somebody about that corn they used to do salad, the person will understand what I'm saying. When we go over there, you see the one that is gradually coming to bear fruit small. So here we did that shop orchard, and we normally do nursery for different kinds of plants. So these are the ones we couldn't sell this season. At the end of maybe this month, we look for where to plant them so that next year we can do another one. We used to have different kinds of seedlings. People used to request for pawpaw, sweet orange, tangerine, and a whole lot of them, and we provide them from here. Okay, when you look out, you will see our plantain and banana plantation. This one is plantain and banana combined. There is a place where we have only plantain. So that is what you have here. And that underground pond that we saw there has an opening where water, when it reaches to certain height or level, water flows from that opening to water whatever you have inside here. So but before me, you have the bitter leaf section. This is the second largest bitter leaf garden we have in this farm. So you can see it. We just cut this one and they are growing fast, and you can see the leaves are quite big. Anybody that eats this bitter leaf, you will love it. All the people that come in contact with this one, they normally abandon the local one. So here we have orange orchard. We have tangerine, and the orange is very sweet. When you lick them, you enjoy them. If you look around this farm, you will discover that you have moringa tree and oranges in so many places in the farm. This moringa is very, very medicinal. Some people use it in cooking. Some people use it in preparing green tea. Even the seed. We have the seed. We used to harvest the seed and also sell the seed. We go down, I will show you the seed. Then this moringa, we also use it for the animals. Sometimes we cut it and give to the pigs. Sometimes we cut it and give to the birds. And it is a strong antibiotics. So here we have cassava, and also this is where we have the largest and the biggest bitter leaf plantation in the farm. We are weeding them presently. So you can see every day we come here and do some work. So we have cassava here, and I planted this cassava in such a way that it goes almost around this farm. After this bitter leaf, we planted it. We have harvested a good number of them, but there are many places to harvest. And if you look around, you can see the palm tree till you reach the end. It continues that way around the farm. This is the sweet corn. It's not the ordinary corn, this is the sweet corn. We also planted cucumber here. You can see they are gradually coming out. Very soon we stake them. Here we have the second plantain plantation. So this thing is very long. You go inside, see plantain all through to the end of the farm. There are some areas I planted one species of banana. I got it from somewhere and I want to reserve that species. So I planted it in one section down. I planted maize here. Also in some section cassava. We are harvesting the maize. We sold many of them today. By Saturday we clear everything. And I'm going to get a laborer who will renew this bed so that we can plant cassava down this place before the rain goes. You can see the palm, like I said, it goes round the farm. So this is still the sweet corn. By tomorrow or next, we are going to manure them. We weed them and we manure them so that the fruit will be big. Like I said, the farm somehow is designed with orange, pawpaw, and the moringa. So we see orange. So you can see the cucumber. We planted the one called tiara species. We still have the fruits down there. If we go down, you see the ones we harvested. Very, very big. Some are still coming out. As you can see, there are still some. Like you can see here, you can see some. You're coming to the fishery section. Here we have catfish and we have tilapia fish. These are the two species of fish we have. We have a very big fish. We have the small ones. And we also have the one that is still in the hatchery. So we can move from here and enter the hatchery so that you can see the small ones. Very soon they will come up to the stage of finger lips. You can see the outlet. This is the outlet where the water flows out when we go inside. So we have about 3 pond inside here, and we have many of them. Normally we used to select them every 2 weeks. We used to select the bigger ones, we remove them and leave the smaller ones.
What you have here now, is it the same species or different species? Tilapia and cat, or?
This one is the catfish. Normally tilapia gives birth by itself.
And there is nothing like hatching in tilapia?
No. It's also possible that catfish can hatch by itself, but you know, these ones that we train, because when you go to the rivers, you can see catfish there, and nobody hatches those ones. So they have their own natural way of multiplying. So, but for us, when we need it, we don't wait for them to lay eggs and hatch by themselves. So we extract it and hatch by ourselves, and we grow them. When they grow, many people used to come here and buy. You see, this pond is very big. It can take up to 4,000 fish. The only thing is that you have to know how to feed them so that each and every one of them will get what is sufficient for its growth. We have another pond somewhere here, an underground pond. But before we go to that underground pond, we see tilapia. Permit me to say that this farm is it is built in such a way that it uses the integral modern method of farming, such that whatever that is produced in this farm will not go waste. Like the water we release from this pond, it moves through this channel and goes to the underground pond. And there in the underground pond, we have fish there. So that place, this water serves for several purposes. It's a kind of reservoir for us, such that during the dry season, we use water there to water everything within the farm. And we also have fish inside there. We don't feed the catfish here. Mainly, they feed on tilapia, and also this green thing that you see here, it is called the water hyacinth. We just reduce it around Monday. Very soon, before you know it again, the thing will just grow, cover this place. When it covers, we normally reduces it so that it begins to grow again. And it does a lot of function. The tilapias feed on it. It reduces smell because this is fish water. And anybody that is acquainted with fishery knows that the water that comes out from the fish pond has a whole lot of smell. As you are standing here, you cannot hear anything. It is the work of this thing. So water flows from that fish pond through that channel, through this gully, enters here, and there is a connection between this particular one and the other one there. So fish can move from here and enter here. It can also move from here and enter here. We normally feed them with dead fowls. So when you look around, you can see the number of them. We put it. And to be frank, the fishes we have here is quite bigger than what we have in the pond. And considering the number of time they have stayed here, my discovery is that they do better here than in the pond. And I have decided that by December, I will put many, up to 100. Let me just show you an example. You see, I just put more to do some experiments, and the result is positive. And here also we produce maggots. If you go close, you see maggots. We use it in feeding the fish. Like today is Tuesday. In the evening, they will flush their pits. And when they flush their pits, more of them will come out, and the person working in the fishery department will bring out something and harvest a whole lot of them. So, and the person will take it to fishery, and the fish will feed them. It contains a whole lot of protein. It is highly proteinous. It also serves us as a way of getting feed for the fish. Sometimes we don't give fish ordinary food. We use this maggot to feed them. We have one species of bird called Noella. They can grow very big. They look like the native fowl. They are quite different from the native fowl. This is the parent stock. From here we get the eggs that we use to hatch some others. We shall still go to the hatchery to witness the hatchery. You can see turkey inside there. This one is crossbreed. It's not the local one, and it's not the foreign turkey. When we go up, you see guinea fowl staying with bird, turkey, and they don't fly away. It's like we are missing something that is very important. Here you used to attract so many people to train them, and after training them, some of them we employ some of them we send them to our counterparts that are looking for workers. Some of them we also empower to begin something. Like when the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, was in office, even after his office, he used to send a whole lot of people here to come and learn about agriculture. And after learning, he used to give them money to begin to do something for themselves. That reminds me, we call here Masdevan farms, but around here, people don't know this farm as Masdevan. They know this farm as Peter Obi's farm. Why? Because of the contribution he did when he was governor of Anambra State to the development of this very farm. In fact, he assisted so much in making this farm what it is today, and we are grateful to him. This farm is a very big farm. We have the feed session here. We used to go to the north and buy things in quantity to produce the food that we use in this house. But unfortunately, since the rise of Boko Haram, we have not been able to go to the north to buy anything because of these security challenges. So right now, we buy feed from those who produce feed. We no longer produce feed on our own. But formerly, we used to go to the north and buy a whole lot of things, and when we come back, we produce feed on our own. So these machines that you see, all of them are still functional, all of them. For like 2 years now, we have not been going to the north because of this Boko Haram problem. And perhaps when the thing comes to an end, we can go back and begin the business again. For now, we buy feed from the local market. This session is for packing of raw materials. When you buy lime, you buy wheat offer, you buy soya, you buy maize, even salt, and a whole lot of them. We pack it here. Here, produce feed. Both growers, finishers, layers, starters, a whole lot of them. So we have the noila and the cockerel with turkey. We train them here. When they grow big, we then take them outside. You can see guinea fowl. So these ones are 4 months old. We used to put them in badges. Like when you look at here, you will see that they are not of the same size. Like yesterday, I brought out some from the small brooding. People used to come and buy them at this age, and also even day old. We also have broiler. Here we keep them. The one that we have at the moment is almost finishing. We are entering the incubator. Here we put eggs. They will stay for 21 days and hatch. There's no one hashing now. So this is the incubator. Normally we put dates to tell us the day we put the egg and when to expect them. So I will just write out and in. In indicating the date of today, which is 4th. If you add 4th to 21, it will give you 25. So on the 25th of this month, this one that I just put today will hash. So I will use this thing to place it, so that anybody who is opening them, once the person sees this date, it will know that the day of hatchery is very close. So I close it. It's from here that we hash all these birds minus the layers out there. And here we have, this machine doesn't rely on power holding company. Here we make use of solar because we do not have steady power supply in the country. Sometimes, like now, we don't have lights now. It is the solar that is carrying the machine because the machine needs to be on in order to make the eggs to hash. The panel is outside. Also, this gen, I brought in this gen to help us in that machine. Sometimes when it comes to maybe in the dead of the night, you see the solar getting weak. So we have to off it and put on this gen so that that machine will be at work at least something like 20 hours every day. So this is our layers house, and this is a very young bird, so to say. They are in their prime right now. There is a pit under. At the end of the day, the person working here will scrape these creases. It will enter that pit and we will use water, flush all of them outside to that very pit that we saw outside. And this is called the battery cage system. Our own is 3-step. This particular house is meant for like about 5,000 capacity. You can also see the birds that we are training. Very soon they will begin to drop. By 16th of this month, they will be 5 months old. So by the 15th of next month, we expect them to begin to drop around 4,400 or 4,500 birds. At each entrance last, we have something we did for the biosecurity. Like here, anybody that wants to enter inside, we normally put something like chemical here. We download so that when you want to enter inside, you match your foot on this chemical before entering inside. You don't wear any slippers inside. You have one kind of slippers that when you want to enter, it is that slippers that you use to enter. When you want to come out, you leave that slippers inside before coming out. The S is to make sure that we do not expose them to disease and sickness. Here we have manure brought out from the big brooding. People used to come and buy them and use them in planting. You can see they are dry. We use the wet ones because there is no way people can come and carry the wet ones. You can see these ones, all of them manure. We have the piggery section. We have two piggery houses here. We have the A and the B. In the A, we have big pigs and we have a good species. Many people used to come here to buy pigs. You can see the pigs. They can grow as big as this, even more than this. There is this one that I have. If you see it, I have never seen that kind of pig before. We just sold it some months ago. Here we have the big ones. If you like, you can see the mothers. And over there we have the smaller ones, piggery B. And you can see the house, it is very airy. It is what we call the open system. Every day we wash here before feeding these pigs. Here we have the small ones. You can see the winners. They are gradually coming to the stage of the growers. You can see them. I am Father Nelson Okoye. Presently, I am the director, Masdevan Farms, Awka.
Can you give us a background story on how you started this farm?
I am not the person that started the farm. The farm was started by a priest called Reverend Father Savas. We have his portrait here. So he started the farm in the year 2009. But then I happened to be the first seminarian to work with him in this farm. When the farm started, it was just a little piece of land, about 4 plots of land. We have only the security posts and then the oil section. And by then we used to produce oil. According to him, what made him to go into farming is that he had a foundation where he tries to help the less privileged in the society, train their children in the school, even up to university level. If you come to the farm, you have different kinds of sponsorship program for people of different sorts. Even myself, I'm a product of that scholarship program. In my theology, the farm sponsored my theology education to a great extent. So he was looking for a way to be making money and be training people. That was how he met one man, Tony, from Agro, who also wants to go into agriculture. And so he partnered with Tony to start off this place. By then, Tony was a civil servant. So many times, myself, I used to go and buy the palm fruit we use in processing oil. So that was how the farm started in 2009. We produce palm oil and also palm kernel oil.
Can you take us to those sections?
Okay, so here is the palm oil producing unit. Presently, we use it for multiple purposes. But these machines that you are seeing here, all of them have their functions. You can see the palm nuts, you can see the palm fruit. Here, presently, we use it for multiple purposes. That is why you see it this way. We just ended frying of gari yesterday. If you look down, you see something that shows you what I'm saying. And you can see the back of the cassava. We use them in feeding our pigs. So from here, the person that works in the piggery will come and carry it and use it for the feeding of pigs. So these machines are the machines we use in processing oil. If you look at this one, you can see the back of the palm fruit telling you that we just used it in processing red oil. So here, after cooking the palm fruit, to pour it here. So you on this engine. This one works with NEPA or generator. But this one doesn't need generator or NEPA. It has its own machine. You can just put some fuel here and start it, and you can grind with this one. But when we have light, we normally make use of this one. Then again, if we want to process the oil that people use in making soap, some people also use it in frying. We use this one. We have it two here. One for NEPA and one has its own engine. It doesn't need NEPA. If you want to operate it, just put fuel. So if you sieve this palm kernel, you put them here, you start it, and it will be grinding the palm kernel, after which you just put it in water and separate it, and then you put it in this one or this one. This one and this one, they are the same. This one uses fuel, this one uses ordinary light. So if you have light, you just on this one, you pour it inside, you on the machine, it will grind the thing. It will give you palm kernel cake and also palm kernel oil. You can also, when you pieces this palm kernel, pour them inside here and be turning it. It will be removing the back of that kernel, giving you the kernel itself so that you can put it in the fire and cook it. Okay, this machine, if you want to use this one, it is used in cooking palm fruits. When you want to produce red oil, this is the same with this. Okay, I said that we use here for a multiple purpose. Even we used to keep birds that are sick here. If you look around, you see sick birds here. Here we keep some of our birds that are sick to isolate them from the rest of the healthy ones, and here we give them proper attention so that they get better and we take them back to where they're supposed to be. So we also fry gari here, and when you look at what I have here, you will see that this is the pan we use to fry gari. We just ended frying gari. So these are the things that came out of it. So by Thursday again, most probably we begin to fry another section. So when you come, you see us frying gari. We produce gari in quantity. When we enter inside, you see where we planted cassava. Good enough, this year, one of my friends gave me cassava cake. He said that this one is meant for diabetic patients. So I planted it somewhere at the back of this place. It's still just growing, and I'm happy. My aim is not just to produce the gari for diabetic patients. My aim is to multiply that stick so that I can plant it in a huge land and know that all the cassava in this area will be good for diabetic patients. And you know, many of the diabetic patients, because of the high content of sugar in cassava, they are not allowed to eat the normal gari. So when we produce that, they will be opportune also to enjoy gari that is good for their health. Across this fence, you can see we planted plantain, banana, and also we have sugar cane, because across here you have river. So this is a sugar cane, and you can see a mature one. The sugar cane is very sweet, and it's a species we got from Benin Republic.